A recovery time like that means that one of two things is going on. Neville could have found himself a solid partner, someone willing to pay top dollar for cutting-edge care. I don't think it's likely, but it could have happened. If it ain't that, the smart money says he's been skimming off the top of Yellow Spring's earnings and not reporting it for the other shareholders. So, you want me to expose a cheat? I need you to go get me something to blackmail Neville with. Find out how he could afford to get out of the hospital so fast. He works out of his penthouse most days to search his computer closet, sock drawer, whatever. There's gotta be something incriminating in there. Okay, he doesn't want to expose him. He wants to blackmail him. Whatever, dude. I don't care anymore. Neville lives in the Repulse Bay. It's this real swanky joint on the southern Hong Kong island, by the bay with the same name. I haven't been able to get anybody in to poke around his apartment because the security's too tight. Lucky for you, though, Neville's thrown a party on the mezzanine level, with all the shops and the restaurant and balcony and such. He's celebrating the second season launch of this show, and everybody's gonna be there. Gotta make a real snarl for the building security. You might also want to head up the party. If you can bluff your way in, everyone close to Neville will be there. Most of them will be 3 sheets to the wind by the time you get there. Some discreet question might get me the dirt I need. Just remember, if you go to the party, don't use your real name. Go with Argyle. Should be safe enough. There's nobody in the biz out there with that name, so nobody will ask any questions about how your work's going. Couldn't you just make a better show? Whatever, sounds easy. Yeah. Cheng talked you up when I approached her with the job. Given what she told me, this job should be cake. Now, the blackmail material is what I need more than anything, but if you can get Penelope Wong out of her contract, I'll pay you extra, got it? I want that star power on my side. One last thing, I don't want you starting a scene while you're there. You interrupt his party, make a mess, I trash his apartment, and I'm not paying you. We're clear on that. Why the concern? Because it's gauche, and I can't have my mind knowing I'm after him. In my business, everybody's got dirty tricks, but if you'd make it public you're using him, that's it. My career's as dead as the People's Republic of China. Nobody will work for me or with me ever again. Don't embarrass me, okay? Gauche is French for left, which in this context also means clumsy. Ish. Somewhat. Whatever. Understood. I'll be discreet. That's what I like to hear. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You can get paid, and I'll put the word out you're a solid hire. This Shadowrun as Moonlight Princess. Who gives a crap? I got money in a job, I don't care who does it, as long as the price is right. What's more, I got a lot of friends around town, and a lot of them running in your circles too. So what? We got a deal? You gonna do it? Sure, whatever. Good man, that's what I like to hear. When you're done, drop Cheng a line. I'll come meet you back here, and I'll hand over the money. I guess. Do I want to do that now? I don't know. Doesn't sound like fun. Those stealth missions, I feel like, are not exactly my forte, because generally speaking, with this series, stealth-ish missions will require a certain degree of skills, the correct skills. I don't always have that, so let's get that. Payment is attached. I confess that I am very pleased with your work. It's not every runner who could have pulled off a job of this magnitude. Well done. Yeah, I know a few people that would have just hid behind a statue. Just saying. All pending jobs. So many pending jobs. New messages? What is this? I say, yeah, I thought I can add a little context to that film between Auntie and Josephine Sin. You know, the thing that makes Auntie hit the sauceland talk revenge. This a combo with stuff I heard and stuff I put together myself, so your mileage may vary. For years, the Yellow Lotus acted as tax collectors within the walled city, since the walled city was built by Josephine Chang, and the Yellow Lotus was run by Ani Chang. They must have had a working business relationship, for a while at least. From what Nigel told me, he was her favorite young governor, right? Honey was known as a real up-and-coming back then. She was on the fast track to be the next Yellow Lotus 438. That's a big deal gig, Seattle. Money and power galore. Now, you need to know that there were a lot of trials and corps doing business in the walled city. All sorts of stuff. Sometimes they work together nicely, and sometimes people get bloody. The way I heard it, Ani came up with some sort of grand plan to consolidate business in the walled city. The power would be split between the Yellow Lotus and Tsang's company, and everyone else would get cut out. If her plan worked, Ani would rise in the Lotus like nobody's business, and Josephine Tsang would make a long bank. There was a catch, though. In order for the plan to work, both women would need to jump through a lot of hoops. There'd be street-level maneuvering and power plays on Hardy's side, and blackmail and negotiations on the corporate level from Josephine Tsang. My info gets sketchy there. From what I've pieced together, Tsang went behind Hardy's back and took her plan to her boss, a 438 named Wong Lun Fat. They cut kindly out of her own plan. Why'd Tsang do that? My guess is that she saw Arnie as some sort of threat. People in the know say that Wong Lun Fat is weak and greedy. She can be manipulated. She can be manipulated, and her palm remains well greased. Long story short, power was consolidated in the walled city, just like Arnie planned. Only she didn't wind up getting any of it. Her climb up the Lotus ladder came to an abrupt halt. She's still a straw standle, just like she was before Tsang backstabbed her, and now she's stuck in Haley like a fly in amber. I'd be pissed too if it were me. Thanks, comment. At least I don't have any new missions. Anything going on in the forums? Oh my god. Yes. Do I have to? Do people I'm gonna be here for like 3 episodes. Jesus. Typhoon warning. Do I have to voice you? The Imperial Japanese Meteorological Agency today issued an advanced typhoon warning for the northern Philippines and the coast of the Guangdong Confederation, as Tropical Storm Usagi has grown to a full-strength typhoon, Category 3 in the Pacific. Typhoon Usagi is formed late in the year for such a powerful storm. Meteorologists credit this growing trend of awakened cold season typhoons to global warming and powerful magical vortices in the eastern Pacific, which appears to help drive moist air convective over cooler ocean waters. According to the official release by Lance Roki of the IJMA, Usagi is now identified as an awakened storm. We have observed strong lightning activity, electromagnetic anomalies, and extreme concentrations of awakened seabirds along its edges. Seabirds, what? Awakened the storms. Oh my god, I don't care. I don't want to read, okay? It's too much. It's color for the grand majority of it. So I'm just gonna go slightly slower than the other one because I was tired of it. And we can just move on, okay? Is this poetry again? This is bullshit, apparently. Jive bud. You fucking people. And then he closed the thread. And continues, apparently. Oh. The fugitive terrorist, that's us. Were they talking about... What's Fez, anyway? Were they talking about what we just did? A tailor? Oh boy, you want to clothe a drone? Why? This is going to cost. Why? It's not like it's going to take that much fabric. Well, actually, they're pretty fat. Depends on the model, I suppose. What's the fez? Excuse me? I'm not reading all of that, by the way. I'm reading like bribes, or all of it if it's only a tiny line. New Pinoy in Hong Kong. Solomon Poe. Anyone? Welcome. QC here. That just tells me Quebec, but that's just me. I live in Quebec, you know. Quebec blues. Yeah. Welcome, welcome. Smiley face. Wow, people finally answered him when he said he can cook. It's like he's trying to get married or something. Did someone call my name? Ouch. Apparently someone took drugs that he shouldn't have. Someone's having issues with what he's eating. Oh god. Sounds very, very unpleasant. Grow up. Horse tripe. Okay, so someone doesn't know what's good. Oh, that's almost interesting. Cheap construction techniques, not that. Union activists. And apparently Tsang is a hero or something. Huh. So Tsang has trouble. Are they really having trouble, or are they just faking it? Oh, Isabel posted that. That's interesting. Radically compliment each other. Do I have any of that? No. So, cool. Walk away. I guess we get to talk to Ractor forever. Hey! How you doing, mate? Ah, my friend, you have indeed done an admirable job. An admirable job indeed. I have already incorporated the technology that you recovered, my stolen tech, into a new chassis that I'm fabricating for Kochai. So, I've done 2 missions that helped 2 people. I don't know if Isabel's any better now, because she was gonna think about using the programs, but Ractor's gonna be better, I guess. Gotta be a help. You will be, my friend. Very glad indeed. The next time we take to the field, you can expect to find Koshai's combat effectiveness considerably improved. He has become truly deathless, just as his namesake was in the legends. When he takes damage, he will mend himself before your eyes. That sounds incredible, man. Nor can I, my friend. Nor can I. Well then. He's not as pointless as I thought he was going to be. Because we're both Raigers, I figured we overlapped purposes, but he can do something I cannot, which is to buff drones. He can buff my drones. That's kind of amazing. Anyway. Welcome back, my friend. What can I do for you? Mind if I ask you a few questions? No, I don't mind, not at all. I can't promise that my answers will satisfy your curiosity, of course, but you may certainly ask. You know, I forget what voice I gave him originally, but I'm sure it's not the voice I'm giving him right now. Russian Republic. Is it supposed to be a republic now? Tumultuous, as you might expect. You probably aren't old enough to remember the Euro Wars, but I am. Sure, tell me about it. My country was the instigator of the first Euro War back in '30. I remember the rhetoric, the hardships of living under a wartime economy, the rampant xenophobia that took hold. Remember how we all cheered when our forces invaded Poland? 3 months. That was all that it took for our military to crush what meager resistance the Poles could bring to bear. It was quite the source of national pride at home. It's just Poland. You've done that before. A few times. It's not the end of the world. It's not like it's Germany or France or something. I don't know. Whatever. I remember our drive into Germany and the desperate bid to reclaim the eastern portion of that country for ourselves. Just to think about the symbolic significance of such an act. An audacious move to be sure, but Secretary Karapunin was determined to make history. Did they stop you? No, the Night Wraith incident did. Night Wraith. British-made fighter bombers with stealth capabilities. Very state-of-the-art, very powerful. At least that's what they were purported to have been. Nobody has ever come forward to accept responsibility for the attack. Regardless of who was behind it, the result was the same. Upon wave of bombings that targeted our forces and the Germans alike, coupled with the assassinations of dozens of military leaders, a devastating synchronized operation expertly carried out over the course of a single night. At home, viral attacks shut down our power grids. Hundreds of thousands of Russian homes found themselves without heat or electricity in the dead of winter. Ah! Use the Russian winter against Russia for a change. Wow, what a tactic. I remember huddling under a mountain of cheap blankets that my mother had piled up on my bed. They did little to protect me from the cold, but they were something that I could hang on to. Something tangible that I associated with warmth and comfort and home. That was dead as my body trembled and as I watched my breath frost over. Horrible truth descended upon me. We had caused this. We were the villains of the first Euro Wars. Well, if you're the attacker, generally speaking, they are considered the villains, but depends who you ask. Depends the motivations. Depends the casus belli. But yeah, if you're the attacker, probably bad. For the first time, I came to face with what Krapunin's folly had brought us. And there, under that ridiculous heap of rags, I came to realize what would surely come to pass. The world thought us villains, and so they would treat us like villains. We would be pariahs on the international stage, crippled by retributive sanctions. We would never live down the shame. Yeah, well, that's basically what's happening to Russia today, and their answer is to just embrace the thing. More or less. Like, yeah, that happened, screw it. And then the AFA invaded Greece and Spain, sparking off Euro War II. What is AFA? We redeployed our troops to help repel them, and all was made right again. Oh, it's like when France invaded all of Europe and then decided to be part of the solution afterwards, when Napoleon wasn't there anymore. Well, you probably still have enemies there. Oh, we were still regarded with suspicion, of course, but all of Europe might have fallen if it hadn't been for our help. In essence, we took back our reputation at gunpoint. Not an ideal solution, I admit, but it worked. Within the span of 4 months, we Russians had gone from nobodies to a terrible threat to unlikely saviors in the eyes of the Western world. Studying exactly how this happened has taught me a great deal about human psychology and social dynamics. Well, at least you took something away from it. Indeed, there are lessons everywhere, if only we stop to look for them. But I've gone on for too long about this already. I must be boring you. Shall we talk about something else? Surely there are more interesting and relevant things to discuss. Who were they? I want to know that. Yet I suppose that you wouldn't know. They were only active for the years surrounding the conflict, after all. The AFA was the Alliance for Allah. Oh my god, the Muslims, really? God damn it. Why did you have to bring these? Serving under Mullah Sayyid Yazir. Oh, God. Good job, me. A coalition of right-wing Middle Eastern governments that assembled after the failure, some say sabotage, of the United Islamic Conference. They looked to weaken Europe and saw an opportunity, one that my country was entirely responsible for creating. I wouldn't say Russia was really to blame. I mean, if someone else had attacked, I mean, they're the ones that attacked. The opportunity was created because Russia weakened them, but that's not... They didn't ask the AFA to attack or something. Yes, but in hindsight we should have foreseen it. Ultimately, the AFA did what any hawkish power would have done in their position. That is true, has nothing to do with religion. I cannot fault them for taking advantage of Europe's weakened state. Given their circumstances, they would have been foolish not to. Depends, I mean... I'm sure there's plenty of countries Canada can attack, for example. But just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to do it, or doesn't mean that you're foolish if you don't. So I don't know about this whole reasoning thing. You know what? I should be ending it pretty soon. So, how the war end? The AFA folded in 37 after Yazrir's assassination. A lucky thing for us too. The body count would have been a great deal higher. The years that they were active, the AFA gave us a hell of a fight. No, between my years in Nizhny Novgorod and my time here in Hayoy, spent a year in the free city of Berlin. That was where I got my feet wet as a Shadowrunner, you'll see, along with a team of anarchists for a time, and I learned the ropes of the occupation under their tutelage. Oh. Interesting. I wonder if it's a... For reference, the Dragonfall, the other Shadowrun, is in Berlin, and you are a team of anarchists, as I recall. I don't know much about the game. I don't even remember this guy, actually. But... Maybe that's what he's referring to. It was, to a point. They were disorganized, to be sure, but perfectly capable. We enjoyed a certain level of camaraderie while we ran together. Sadly, we are no longer on the best of terms. An opportunity arose, and I seized it. In so doing, I left Berlin for Hong Kong, and I did so without much advance notice. My absence made life difficult for them, and they blamed me for their hardships. I mean, it's one thing to leave, it's another to not tell them about it. This, I guess. Thank you for taking my side, but I can see their point as well. As I said, my departure caused some complications for them. That said, I haven't lost any sleep over it. I merely did what I had to do. Ultimately, I would say that my time in Berlin was quite educational. Different from my earlier life in Russia, to be sure. As I said, the experience was invaluable. Ultimately, though, Hioe is probably better suited to my sensibilities. Really? How so? Life in Hong Kong is more structured than it is in Berlin. Things make sense here in a way that the Flux state didn't. Yeah, anarchy. That'll do that to you. I have an orderly mind. Everything is in its place, neatly labeled and filed away. This approach is what allows me to make sense of the world. To say that the people I knew in Berlin thought differently would be an understatement. Why did you go there in the first place, then? When we first met, I told you that I parted ways with Grishina Vyakor under unfortunate circumstances. Yes. Some of you mentioned it, yeah. These same circumstances led me to Berlin. I was wronged, and I could not find recourse in Russia. I suppose that there's no sense in being vague. I'll tell you the story if you want to hear it. I would go with maybe later, but I guess I'm just going to divide it in 2 episodes or something and keep doing that, but just people keep talking forever. I guess I should have seen it coming and called it, but it wasn't time to call it earlier. Maybe later. Very well. When you want to know, you need only ask. Any thoughts about the last run? And then we're going to end there. Most wonderful outing. Excellent. I have my research back, my prototypes returned, all thanks to you. Oh, I suppose that I could complain of Taylor and Hardingham's absence. I would have greatly enjoyed commanding Cochet to feed them their own entrails, but this is a small matter. I have my research, and I will catch up with them soon enough. Your choice to give away the laser prototype that we discovered confuses me, though. Why did you bother? We didn't owe that other team anything. We were there first, and we were the ones who found the device, because I'm too kind, that's why. Ah, but it doesn't matter. A small thing, my friend, a trifle. The laser is nothing compared to my research. I am in your debt. I gotta run. Gotta run. You can hear in the background that noise is gonna be a problem anyway. I'm just gonna call it here. Next time, Rector's gonna keep talking forever. Until then, see y'all.